Welcome back. Rising COVID-19 infections have forced Plettenberg Bay Rage Festival organizers to cancel the event. It was scheduled to start tomorrow. Organizers now saying, despite implementing preventative measures, they simply can't risk people's lives. Our reporter Nobesuthu Hejane is following the story for us. She joins us now live. So, Nobesuthu, the organizers were adamant at first that they would actually go ahead with this event as planned, but that has since changed. Tell us why.
Certainly, Shahan. In fact, we spoke to Reverend Gluchman earlier on, who was telling us that after receiving those reports on the number of people that had tested positive, they didn't want to continue with the event. From them, it was going to be reckless of them to continue with the event. But he also mentioned that they lost quite a lot of money. In fact, when we spoke to him off air, he was saying that they spent about 2 million on this event, setting up, buying the tents, and also booking the artist. But this is what he had to say about them cancelling the event.
Now, and when we last spoke, the numbers increased so dramatically that we felt we had absolutely no choice but to make the right decision. The numbers were 5 or 6 fold higher than what our threshold was, and our concern was, based on that information that we had, that the virus has now spread to all the schools with all the rages that are attending. So there was not one school that we had that had no cases in it. And we felt there was absolutely no way forward based on that information, even though we would have been able to test at our test centre that we set up tomorrow. The trajectory of this virus is increasing at such a rate that we believe that the numbers we would have picked up in Plett would have been 3 or 4 fold what we've just picked up in the last 24 hours. And knowing that information, there's absolutely no ways we can continue. It's an absolute impossibility. And we thought the situation is moving so quickly, we have to act now.
Naturally, matriculants who actually arrived there to get this information can't be happy. I see some of them behind you. What are they saying?
Certainly, Shahan. In fact, before I speak to them, we also spoke to some of the workers who were telling us that they spent a month constructing this site, and they were saying that they're quite disappointed at what happened, but they do understand the reasons for the cancellation. But as you've said, I'm joined by the matriculants who drove all the way from Cape Town. Josh, you were telling me earlier that the tickets were quite expensive as well as the accommodation.
Yeah, we spent about $3.5 grand on the tickets and about $8 grand on the accommodation, and it all just kind of disappeared like that. So we're very disappointed and we're bleak about it, you know. The boys came to party and it just got cancelled just like that, you know. So.
And how are you feeling about it? I mean, they do cite the COVID-19 cases that were reported.
Yeah, I understand. Like, we were body surfing and the jaw was on, and we get out the water and we hear from everyone in the parking lot that it's off. And it literally just like that. So, I mean, I understand where they're coming from and I understand why it had to get cancelled. But, you know, we came here to party and, you know, we want to party. So, but we're going to make the best of it. We're going to go out, we're going to have fun with our mates. So I understand why it's off, but, you know, it is sad. We are all bleak.
Are you going to be keeping in line with the COVID protocols? Because some of the fears, obviously the reason why it was cancelled was because of the cases. So you saying that you'll be going to a different venue to party. Will you be safe? Are you going to practice those protocols?
We will practice the COVID protocols, but obviously this jaw was a lot safer because now we're going to be going to parties that have people from all different spheres of life coming in, where this jaw was just ticket holders and we were having a COVID test every day. So it was a lot safer. So I feel like cancelling this was just actually increasing the spread and kind of just destroying the point of cancelling it, really.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Gentlemen. Well, Hejane, you heard from those who were going to be attending this event, citing that they spent a lot of money to be here, but obviously they do understand the reasons why it was cancelled. Also mentioning that they stand a chance of being at risk more because they're now going to be finding alternative parties or activities to do around town in places where maybe those protocols would not necessarily be practiced, but he's saying that they intend to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Nobesuthu Hejane is in Plettenberg Bay. I really wish I could be body surfing right now.
Do you know the language of those teenagers? I have that in my home.
Yeah.
Especially the word bleak. Bleak. It's bleak.
Bleak.
Ma.
It's bleak.
Yeah, things are bleak. But you know, not so bleak. After listening to Shabir Mahdi, I think it's potentially encouraging. We have got quite, you know, we don't have as many people vaccinated as we want, but that coupled with the natural immunity that seems to have spread across large parts of Gauteng, he is hoping that while we might see a lot of breakthrough infections, lots of cases, a lot less hospitalizations. And, you know, he has been on the money with most of his assessments of what's happening with this virus generally and with this variant in particular. So let's hope while we might see a spike in cases, we won't have as many tragic stories as we had in our previous waves.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep a close eye, of course, on Plettenberg Bay since those teenagers are still going to be partying.